Well, welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Today is going to be a walk and talk kind of video. And so guys, I appreciate you stopping in at the Piney Woods. Hit that like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. And we're going to walk around and just talk a little bit. Everything on the Piney Woods is soaking wet, y'all. We've had quite a bit of rain over the past several days. It's funny, every time we see those streaky things up in the sky, Lisa and I have noticed that within a few days we have a deluge of rain. I don't know if there's anything to that. And for those of y'all in the know, you know what I'm talking about. But y'all, this morning I decided, after dropping Kyla off at the airport to go back to school, which is kind of a bummer, y'all. We have enjoyed having her home through the Christmas break, and realizing that they are grown and gone, it just kind of stinks all over again. But so I did that drive this morning to the airport in the dark. I don't like driving in the dark anymore, y'all. I just don't seem to be as good at it as I once was. So I got home and had some other chores to do. I'm gonna tell you about one specifically that really just kind of ruffled my feathers this morning. I don't know if y'all can see those three topping pigs back here, but y'all, these are the best looking pigs we have ever raised here. It's just taken us, 5 years to get our genetic line to where we wanted it on these Herefords, and they're just solid muscle. Excellent conformation, wide hips, wide shoulders, wide tops, y'all. These are just stout pigs, and it won't be much longer they'll be getting processed. But y'all, one thing that I did this morning was I had to take the garbage off. My dad calls it garbology when he has to take garbage off, because there's convenience sites around where we live where if you don't want to pay for somebody to come pick up your trash, you can take your own trash off. And so that's what we do, y'all. It's not that far from where we live. But as I'm pulling into the convenience site this morning, it's kind of busy, and I'm waiting in line. I'm a few vehicles back from where you can actually get out to unload. And I notice a gentleman, probably my father's age or a little bit older. Mid to late 70s is where this gentleman's at. Actually looked a little bit older than my dad. And he is struggling to get a few bags off of his truck. I look in front of him, and there's a younger man, younger than me, getting a few bags off of his truck, and he kind of looks back at the old timer. Doesn't speak, just looks at him, throws his garbage in, looks back at him, gets in his truck and leaves. I look to the right of him, there's another fella parked that I know. So I got to do a little editing there. Had old spam caller call me. I thought I had all those jokers blocked, but they still get through from time to time. You answer hoping it's somebody needing some work done, and it's a spam caller. I always tell them have a nice day and please take me off of their call list. It doesn't seem to work though. Anyways, as I am in the line there, I watch this younger gentleman not offer this older gentleman any assistance whatsoever. You can tell he's struggling. I look over to the right of him, I see a fella I recognize. That's older than me, but still quite capable, and spent his life in a profession of helping other people, and this fella don't help this gentleman at all. And I am starting to boil over because I'm so far back in the line, I can't just get out of my truck and run up there and help this older gentleman. So finally the line moves. The older gentleman is still struggling with his garbage. I parked my truck beside of him, and I look in the back of his truck. He's got the last bag of trash out, and he's hobbling over to the dumpster where you throw it in, the compactor. And so I speak to him, good morning, that sort of thing. And he looked at me surprised that I actually spoke to him, because apparently that's just something that a lot of folks don't do anymore. And down here in the South, especially the rural South, I grew up walking around, hey, how you doing? You talk to everybody. And I'm still that way, and some people look at me kind of funny when I do that. Lisa will vouch for me on that. But I spoke to him briefly, wished him a good day, asked him if there was anything else he needed. He said he was all good to go. But it just perturbed me that here is a senior citizen needing just a little bit of help, not to mention the attendant is inside of his little hut, and I know the attendant as well, younger man fully capable of assisting, and maybe that's not in his job description, but nobody assisted him. What in the world is wrong with people? Are you not willing to say good morning to somebody because you're so closed off? You're not willing to offer a helping hand to somebody you see struggling. I just don't get it. The love of many has just grown completely cold. Y'all, I may have called these pigs a few names that aren't very nice here lately. Because they get harder to handle. The further along they get in the grow out stage, they're just like puppy dogs, y'all, but now they are 200-pound puppy dogs. And they just really want to knock you down when you go in there to feed them. So, but we're careful, try not to let them, if they are going to be behind you, keep an eye on them, because Lisa and I have both been knocked down before, and I really don't want to get knocked down in this mud out here and hurt myself, or Lisa get knocked down. I watched her get knocked down out here one time, and I was still, I can't remember if I was on oxygen all the time then, or if I wasn't. I can't remember, but I remember I couldn't go in there. Not well. And I watched her get clipped from a topping pig and knocked down, and I ran in there and got her up, you know. I just reacted, and I can thank my former profession a lot for that, for being willing to run towards something and help. But it just drives me crazy, y'all, just thinking about that this morning. It just really irks me that our society is all about me, all about me. What about all about serving others? Aren't we supposed to be servants and help people when they're in need? Whether it is if you've got the money and can help people, or maybe you just got a little more strength than them and can help them up, y'all. This older gentleman, it was all he could do to get that trash out of there. And there were capable men around him not willing to lift a finger. It just drives me crazy, y'all. I'm sure that some of y'all can relate. You've seen things like that before and jumped in to help. All right, moving on. That was my one irk for the day, other than that spam caller that I think he sounded like he was from a foreign country. So aside from the things that kind of got my blood pressure up today already, let me tell you about something that just kind of made me feel good over Christmas. Well, I enjoyed cooking the pig, y'all. Now, I suffered for a couple of days after I had breathed so much smoke. I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. That may be something that I don't do again. I love doing it, but yeah, that smoke affects me in ways that it didn't used to. But something good other than cooking the pig and getting to eat that barbecue, even though I burnt just a little bit of it, y'all, it didn't matter, scraped it off. Kyla, you know, being a daddy, and really, in only having one child, occasionally when she was a teenager, a boy would want to come over. And I always told her, I said, the boy's got to come meet me if he wants to take you out on a date. So a couple of times boys would actually get the nerve to come over, and I'd bring them down here and I'd show them these two sows. And I would tell them, if anything happens to my daughter, those pigs right there are very efficient at getting rid of things. If they could follow my drift. And you know, I was picking with them, y'all, but just trying to break the ice, and it scared them off every time. But there was never a second date. And so some people say, man, you're too hard on them, but not really. Not when it's your only child and you want to make sure that they are safe. But she came home and she's found her a beau. For those of you who don't know what that means, a beau, a boyfriend that she's had for a few months now. And she told me, she said, Daddy, he is a lot like you. And that makes me feel good, y'all, that my daughter would be glad that she is dating someone that's like me. And what she meant by that, she said, Daddy's a country boy. He knows how to operate heavy equipment. His daddy does it for a living. And what's neat is, well, first off, he knows Jesus. That's the most important thing. But what's neat is his middle name is my name, and his parents' names are the same as mine and Lisa's. That's pretty cool. But anyways, that kind of warms my heart, you know, to see Kyla doing some things right. We all want our kids to do things right. And if hopefully we've raised them right, they will. It's supposed to be that way. According to the good book, it says if you teach a child or train a child in the way they should go, when they're old, they won't depart from it. Well, I hold firm to those truths. Lord knows I departed from my training several times, and maybe y'all have too, but I'm older now and I've come back to that training. Thank God for that. So today I've been irked off at the garbage site, spammed by a foreigner, tried to be spammed, and it's too wet to work outside. So guys, I brought you a short video. I'm gonna get back in the house and just relax. Lisa and I got a few things we want to do inside today and just enjoy this holiday season and our time together. Guys, we appreciate y'all. We hope you have a good day, a great week. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise and it'll dry out a little bit. We'll be back out here doing some manual labor for you real soon. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.